The following video includes multiple clips from multiple YouTube channels we believe were created by the perpetrator in this case. My channel does not condone any of this conduct. We are merely reporting the facts of this case and our findings. Police have identified a 26-year-old Maryland man as a suspect in last week's assassination of the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, who was shot from behind outside a New York City hotel hours before a shareholder conference. Luigi Nicholas Mangione was arrested in Altoona, Pennsylvania on December 9th of 2024. Mangione graduated from the elite Gilman School, a private high school in Baltimore, at the top of his class. There's actually a video of his graduation ceremony where he shows him delivering the commencement speech. We will not be showing that in this video, however. Now we want to watch the video manifesto that he has been putting out via a very close friend since his arrest. And just so you know, we've so far gotten limited information, and it seems another video is scheduled for in the morning. Let's watch what we have so far.
Hello, 47.
Arriving at this courthouse there in Pennsylvania, in Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania, taken in custody in Altoona. Let's just listen in here to this. All right, that was just Luigi Mangione as a strong person of interest in this case, taken into custody, led with his hands behind his back. And I do want to...
And he's in custody in connection to the shooting death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
Taking a look at right there. This is 26-year-old Luigi Mangione, born in Maryland. He has been arrested on gun charges. That's what the arraignment will be on. Law enforcement officials from New York and the FBI arrived in Altoona just a short time ago and will be interviewing the suspect in an effort to gain information on what authorities call a targeted and premeditated murder of Brian Thompson.
Upon further investigation, officers recovered a firearm on his person, as well as a suppressor, both consistent with the weapon used in the murder. They also recovered clothing, including a mask consistent with those worn by our wanted individual. Also recovered was a fraudulent New Jersey ID, matching the ID our suspect used to check into his New York City hostel before the shooting incident. Additionally, officers recovered a handwritten document that speaks to both his motivation and mindset.
Also on the suspect, a 3-page document. Some other media outlets are reporting some of the wording that is in that document. For instance, CNN is reporting that some of the writings include, quote, "These parasites had it coming, and I do apologize for any strife and trauma, but it had to be done."
Police responded to the location for reports of a person matching the description of the man wanted for questioning in Thompson's murder. But Altoona police said they initially took him into custody on related charges. The criminal complaint on this specific incident by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania stated the following from the officer who wrote the report. On December 9th of 2024 at 9:14 hours, the Altoona Police Department were dispatched to 407 East Plank Road, Altoona, for a suspicious male who resembled the male from a recent shooting in New York on December 4th. Officers were advised in the dispatch notes that the male was wearing a medical mask and a beanie. Upon arrival, officers were able to locate the male matching the aforementioned description, sitting in the rear of the building at a table. He was wearing a blue medical mask and was looking at a silver laptop computer that was placed on the table. The male also had a backpack on the floor near the table where he was sitting at. Police made contact with the male and informed that officers were called to the McDonald's for a suspicious male matching his description. They asked the male to pull down his medical mask so he could see his face. The male complied and pulled down his mask. They immediately recognized him as a suspect from New York City incident after seeing photos released of him from media sources. They asked the male for identification, and he provided officers a New Jersey driver's license bearing the name Mark Rosario and a date of birth of 7/21 of 98. They took the license and ran the information through the dispatch center. They asked the male if they had been to New York City recently, and the male became quiet and started to shake. Additional units from the Altoona Police Department arrived on scene to assist. At this time, dispatch was unable to find any information on NCIC with the information provided by the officers. They also ran the information the male provided to officers, but still found no record was able to be found. The male was advised that he was under an official police investigation, and if he lied out his identity, he would get arrested. The male then stated his name was Luigi Mangione, with a date of birth of 5/6 of 98. The driver's license that the defendant provided to officers was found to be a fake identification card. They asked the defendant why he lied out his name, and the defendant replied, "I clearly shouldn't have." Lieutenant Hanley then instructed officers to place the defendant into custody for forgery and false identification to law enforcement. The defendant was then placed into custody. The defendant was handcuffed and was searched on scene. He was then transported back to the Altoona Police Department station where his property was inventoried pursuant to the Altoona Police Department's policy. During a search of the defendant's backpack, officers located a black 3D printed pistol and a black silencer. The pistol had a metal slide and a plastic handle with a metal threaded barrel. The pistol had one loaded Glock magazine with 6 9mm full metal jacket rounds. There was also one loose 9mm hollow point round. The silencer was also 3D printed. The defendant is being charged with forgery, firearms not to be carried without a license, tampering with records of identification, instruments of a crime, and false identification to law enforcement. He will need to be fingerprinted and photographed. Now, since this report was written, it's obvious that Mr. Mangione has all but confessed in these video messages that he's left us. So stay tuned. As they come out, we'll watch them together.